Ooh, I was late to the seventh power today. Oh my God. Where was she? Where was she? Listen, guys, I know you've been waiting. This is something we needed to cover. It's not even a game. Like, this case is probably one of the most important cases in American history. I'm going to be here every day. I've been waiting to see if this case was going to be live streamed yesterday. Lead and I were actually going to do this on his side. So we were watching throughout the case yesterday to see if it was going to be live streamed. What we have discovered is that this Trump trial is not going to be live streamed. So what that means for a lot of creators is we need to get creative for you to determine how we are going to do either a daily recap for you, either do a daily stream for you. There's a lot of thinking that is behind the scenes when it comes to this. So what we've decided, Lead and I, is unless we can see this trial together, I'm just going to do recaps for you guys on each day. A lot of other YouTubers are doing this. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time looking at competing YouTubers, competitors, and seeing how they are approaching the reporting on this. What I can tell you guys so far is that it seems really biased. And if it is that biased, you might as well just watch the news. I think so many of you guys come to legal commentators on YouTube because you want to see what we think, right? But a big tool in that is being able to turn the live stream on and watch what is happening in court. This trial is big, not only because it's not televised. You want to know why it's not televised? Because they know Donald Trump will come out on every break, every single one, every break in the hallway and tell everybody what's going on, but they don't trust what he's saying. So no reporters are allowed in the hallways. No reporters are allowed. I mean, they're allowed to watch and to spectate in the courtroom. But for one of the most important trials in U.S. history of a president from a state, we can't watch it. So we had to take some time to think about the strategy here on how we're going to give you guys content. So here's what we're going to do. Unless something huge comes out where Lead and I can see it, we will do it on his channel. I am going to give you guys daily recaps on my side. Just gave my editor an hour ago. I'm going to do daily recaps of what happens every day in court. The issue is we are relying on reporters that are in the room. That's why live streams are so important. If you're relying on reporters that are in the room, and we've talked about this over the last few weeks, even with the Fani Willis trial and other things, it's very hard to rely on unbiased opinions. When we can see it, all of us together can watch it as a group and form our own opinions. And that's the thing. With news, you're just watching something on the screen. You can't necessarily go to a community. You can after the fact, but you can't necessarily go to a community and watch something where some of you guys may have a vested interest and some of you guys may have a disinterested interest. But here's the thing. What I love about the community that Lead has built and that I have built is it's okay. You could pick your side. Ain't nobody going to judge you. And if it gets hot in the chat, I mean, we have great mods. Like it's amazing. No one is going to judge you here for having your opinion, no matter what side you're on. And that's great. But there's not a lot of spaces like this. So for us to not be able to see it together is a little bit of a hindrance. So what that comes with is a lot of YouTubers are becoming their own independent media sources. Like we have to, it's either you're in New York and you're in that courtroom and you could see it for yourself and you could report it to your people, or you're like everyone else in the country and you have to go to Twitter and look at what reporters in the room are saying. So what I tried to do today is report on this for you guys without an unbiased opinion, without some of the shenanigans that you see. Like people are like, he's falling asleep right now. I don't care. What did the lawyers say on each side? That's what I care about. That's what I want you guys to see. I think that's what we're all used to seeing. That's what we want to see because those are issues of fact. When we're like, oh, he's falling asleep, Sleepy Dawn. Sounds a lot like Sleepy Joe. Who cares? That's politics. I care about law. I want to see it. I want to see what's happening. And, you know, it's being reported on one side. That's why this case is so hard, guys. They're like, oh, Donald Trump's in the courtroom being defiant. But you're also at the same time saying he's sleeping. Which one is it? I mean, if you are a former president of the United States, this has never been done before either. You've had the Nixon trial, you've had Bush. This is the first time that they're taking a former president, and I don't know, Clinton's before my time, so I could be saying this incorrectly. But what I am saying is that you're taking someone away from a campaign. And this is where all the people that are like, you're such a Trumper. And it's like, no, I'm literally talking about this from a legal aspect. In parentheses. You're taking someone off of the campaign trail, whether they're a Democrat or a Republican, and you are taking 2 or 3 months away from them to litigate an issue that happened 8 years ago. We could do that. That's fine. But you also have to look at how the timing of this is interesting. Courts, judges, the legal system, you can schedule at times that make sense. If we schedule during an election year, I mean, yeah, one candidate's going to be hindered. That's one of the number one things Donald Trump has been talking about as he's in office. But on the flip side, like I know a lot of people don't like him. I know it. If you don't like him, they do this in law school. They call it it's a theory where you are forced to look at it from the other side. If Joe Biden was in the same position and he couldn't campaign for 2 months, I'm pretty sure that he would not complain. I'm pretty sure he would raise the issue as well. I'm pretty sure if one of his kids, because we talk a lot about Joe's kids, he had a kid that passed and that was super unfortunate. He has another kid that's involved with some other things, and he has a daughter that's doing really well right now. But here's the thing. If he couldn't go to one of his kids' graduations, I'm pretty sure he would say something too. So I want you guys, and I really want this space to be a space of unbiased or not having too much bias. Everybody heard me and the Fanny thing, and they're like, you're a Trumper. The Fanny thing was really, really disappointing to me as a aspiring attorney. I'm honestly going to tell you guys that thing broke my heart. you can look it up right now. You can go to Google or ChatGPT and say, how many women of color are prosecutors? Take it out of criminal law. How many women of color are lawyers? Just that one. There's not a lot. So to be in a position and to make mistakes, that's the funny thing. But for this thing, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. When I was in law school, in constitutional law, this election stuff is so important. In law school, your final exam in a class is typically going to be reflected on common events. And in constitutional law, do you know what was on my test? Trump tweets. I, as an aspiring attorney, had to determine whether Trump tweets were constitutional or not, or broke First Amendment rights. So as a millennial growing up in this time, I also just want for you to see how what's happening right now impacts the entire experience of legal people. So you can look at it and I am responding to one particular comment where they're just like, oh, Lead's taking some time off, go over here. And that person was just like, she's biased. Girl, who? Bias or basing things off of facts? So I don't want to go too into it. I just want to see who we have in the building, what we are going to do tonight. I have my editor doing a recap on day 1 of the Trump case right now. He is working on it. He's abroad, so he's a few hours ahead of me. By the time you see this in the morning, we will have a day 1 recap. I'm doing a day 2 live stream right now so we can come together as a community and talk about it. But this is what you can expect over the next few weeks. We can't stream it, but we can talk about it. And this is what I'm saying. As I did research yesterday, I thought it was really sad. I found one channel that was at like 2 or 3 million subs, and they were purely on one side. It was not just a middle place where you can go to get information. It was one side. And when I tell you the speed in which these people were getting information out there, it was like pew, 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 like amazingly fast. Because here's what's happening. We saw this with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. When lawyers cannot stream these things from the outside, like we're not in the courtroom. So who do you have in the courtroom? You have people with press passes. This is Post-its. Sorry, I needed something to analogize this. You have people with press passes. And the press passes are going to be either on the right or the left. So they either work for somebody on the right or the left. I really do feel like YouTubers provide independent media and give viewers a choice of where you guys want to go. So the fact that it's not live streamed, it's a little bit of a hindrance, but at least we can do what we normally do and give you guys the legal side of things from back here. Not taking any side. You pick your own side. But at least giving it to you back here. So that's what we're doing. And shout out to Subu. This just made my day. She says, thank you, AV, for being all American. And that's what America is. I mean, I have friends that have served this country. I almost went to the Navy myself. This is a big deal. And I think it just needs to be independently reported. And that's what we're not seeing. So I'm going to say hi to a few of you guys, but here's tonight's agenda. Parentheses. TLA AB7 2024. You'll hear more about this soon. Two things. Trump, because they know that he is media friendly, they don't want to televise this because of that. They don't even want cameras in the hallways because of that. So the cameras are only outside of the courthouse. All of the media outlets are camped out, barricades, all of that. They're camped out outside of the courthouse. Okay. What he is able to do is give us an opening speech in the morning for each day and a closing speech when the day closes. I don't know how much that's going to last because yesterday I'm just looking at patterns. That's what he did. My editor is doing a recap for you guys on day one as we speak. We will have that out tomorrow. For today, I know that he did an AM speech, so we can play that. We know that as of now, you need 12 jurors for a jury trial. This trial is projected to take 12 to 16 weeks. You know, I think the number 6, I don't know why the number 6 is pointing out to me right now. I don't know if it's because I got the mixture of 6 jurors chosen already. It's actually 7 in the last hour. But this trial is expected to go on for a few weeks. Okay, so we can expect for April, May, into June, we are going to be watching this trial. And I will be reporting live here for you guys on a live stream or giving you a recap of what happened on each day. That's what we're going to do. As of today, we have 7 jurors that are picked. Now, here's the issue with that. With jury selection in New York, this is why it's very difficult for presidential candidates. And remember, this is also something that took place 8 years ago. 8 years ago. I broke it down in the video that my editor is working on right now. Stormy, I showed you guys, and maybe we'll add a card for those that are watching on replay. I showed you guys that Stormy Daniels is not only putting out a documentary right now. Not only has Donald Trump put something out on Truth Media about what Stormy said, this is all about a article that was going to go out in the National Enquirer when Trump was running for president in 2016. Now, the audio, the other footage where he said he would grab him by the joint. We all heard him audibly and visually say that. Around that time, you also have to understand when you're running for president, bad news is going to come out about you and good news is going to come out about you. Bad news came out about Joe Biden. Good news came out about Joe Biden. Why do you think everybody's looking at Hunter? Bad news, good news. As a PR professional with a legal background, I'm telling you guys, this is just what it is. It doesn't matter who the candidate is. I'm from Boston. JFK had some smear campaigns out on him. Like, it happens. It's all right. It's a part of the game. We live in a social media time, but we also live in a social media time where there's a lot of bots out there. I don't know if half of y'all in the chat are real. I mean, could you put a 1 in the chat if you're a real person? That will help me understand if the 240 people in here are bots. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you're a real person? Yeah, you heard it, Paul. Paulie, you heard it. All right, Captain Jones is a bot. He's telling me he's a bot. He's like, yeah, cute dog. You're seeing it. Cute dog, AV. I'm leaving you supers. You're not reading them. God damn it. I know you're in your monologue, but still. Thank you all for being real people. Shout out to the Professional Nomad Podcast, a YouTuber in the chat. Thought about you the other day. I will make sure that we give you some grace tonight. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting year, guys. East Side, are you a bot? Here's the thing. This year is going to be wild. Not only on these legal streets, but on these political streets. And if there's one thing that I can do for my audience is just allow you guys to be aware of this. The fact that this trial is not live streamed is already a big thing from a PR standpoint. The fact that they knew, they were like, no, Donald Trump, we don't want you to say anything, because they knew he would say something. They knew he would want to talk. We all have a First Amendment right of free speech, but that doesn't mean that other people that are against you won't have the First Amendment right to stop your speech with debauchery and shenanigans. They knew this man would either tweet, be on Truth Social. They knew. We know. It was on my law school exam in constitutional law 4 or 5 years ago. We know he's going to say something, but he's also a modern president. So if social media is around, are you going to expect him not to tweet anything? Maybe on a conservative PR side, and I don't mean conservative as Republic, I mean conservatism as you are looking at it. Like, I don't want to take a risk. I would not want to put anything out there right now. I'll be honest, guys, like some of the people that I've advised over the years, I've been in communications for 15 years. There are some personalities where we're just like, we just can't trust you. You got to stop talking. Or let us write it for you. Let legal approve it and make sure it's not going to be a problem, and then post it. But if there's something like this, like a real-time trial, that's probably arguably one of the most important trials ever. Let the team decide how they're going to handle that. Because if it was Joe Biden, I mean, I don't think that the first ring of media offense would be closed. I don't think that people in the hallways would not be able to ask him for comment. I don't think that he would have to wait till the morning or the afternoon. But shout out to Dayanara. I mean, is it an infringement on speech, political speech? And that's what some of his other lawsuits are arguing. So let's get into all of that. We know 7 jurors have been chosen. We know that Bragg, the Attorney General, I have to take you down for a second, Dayanara. Let's talk about Bragg. I have something for y'all today, because here's what happened. We're talking about day 2. So we will look at Donald Trump's opening speech for the day, because that's the only media I have access to. That's it. But the other thing is DA Bragg's document that he filed today. The people of the state of New York against Donald Trump. And what does it say? It's a motion for contempt by Alvin Bragg. What is the motion about? They have this lovely table of contents. There's an intro, a background. Let's go to the argument. What does the argument say? The argument says that they want to put a gag order on Trump. They already tried to. And it is to restrict statements that he's going to make, extrajudicial statements. What does that mean? Extrajudicial means statements that you make outside of court about this case, expressing and unequivocal mandate. What does that mean? Like we are, because I'm in Fulton County right now, like we are trying to do down here with Fannie Willis. In fairness to all parties involved in that trial, from a PR perspective, in my opinion, it does make sense to not talk about it publicly. That protects her and it protects the other side. Fannie is ignoring that and still making statements. On a contrarian side, we have the Trump trial here. I get it. It's a former president. Do you think for a second he's going to stop making statements? No. And this is going to be controversial. I kind of agree with him on this one. I mean, I do. Like, how do you not stop? Like, but if we can put a muzzle on anyone in America, but if we can put a muzzle on a president legally, I do think that we need to think about what the impact of that is for any party, especially in the future. If you put a muzzle on a Republican, if you put a muzzle on a Democrat, if we are putting muzzles on presidents, and I'm learning and I'm talking to you guys based off of precedent, those law books back there. If we set the standard that this is what it's going to be moving forward, what does that mean for the future of the country? Right? We just need to think about that. So a lot of times, like, people get pissed at legal scholars because this is how our brain is built. It's like, no, we still need to be fair. Whether you agree or not, we still need to be fair. And here, if you muzzle him, are you being fair? He's running for president right now. We're saying he can't campaign? You're taking him off the campaign trail for 2 months? On the contrarian side, if we do it to Biden, are we going to take a candidate off of the trail for 2 months? Is that fair to either party? That's what we need to look at, right? So here, they're trying to muzzle Trump because he had some opinions over the weekend before this trial started, right? Because he had those opinions and posted them, the next thing is they're saying that he violated a court's order to muzzle him. Then they go further. Allen goes further on this to say he willfully violated the order. And then fourth, the court should impose sanctions. They watched everything he did yesterday before this document came out. Everybody's looking at the media stuff. They're all like, hey, what's going to happen? What is he going to say? Can we live stream it? I was literally watching court documents all day yesterday. That's why I didn't stream. I wanted to see what motions were filed, what motions won, what motions lost, whatever. But this one right here, and just watching the media as well, Google News is what I use as a tool. You can refresh it often. But what you can see is a landscape view of the news outlets and what they report and how. I like it because you have to use your own discernment on your own opinions of news outlets, but you can see what all of them are reporting at the same time. Some outlets are like, hey, he's fallen asleep in court. He doesn't care. Day one, he doesn't give a shit. Okay. You also see the other half in support. So, like, as a viewer, for all of us as American viewers, This can be confusing. This is why I like court live streams and documents, because there's not this reliance upon reporters in the courtroom. So Bragg says they should put in sanctions. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick super break because I did a little bit of a monologue. In parentheses, Lead's not here to rein me in. He's taking a few weeks off. So I'm on my own right now. But let me look. Let me look to see who we have in the building, and let's talk about this. Shout out to Cognizance in Canada. One of my longest, like first subscribers ever. Consistent subscriber over 2 years, has been rooting me on. And it's probably like, oh my God, you're taking the bar exam. I'm so proud of you. Has been watching this forever. Thank you, Coggy. I hope you're doing well. I hope Canada is warming up this time of year. It gets cold. I hope it's warming up. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Lady Di, one of my newer mods. I love her. She is amazing. So nice. She's newer to my community, but has been an integral part over these past few weeks. And as soon as she came in, I just saw a bright light. And like, she even tells us like, I'm going grocery shopping. I'm doing this. I can't be in today's live, but like, she lets us know. And that shows me that she's like, you know, a good part of the community. And I love bringing women into the community as well. So no hesitation to make her a moderator on my channel. Lady Di, I hope you're doing well. And thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. If you got those memberships, I'm just telling you guys now, I just think that the growth is going to happen in these next few weeks, especially if I do daily recaps on this. I just want to keep our community exclusive. So if you haven't become a member already, think about it. And if Lady Di gave you one, please like thank her. I don't do what Lead does yet, but it's coming. It is coming. Shout out to Lady Di. Thank you so much, Di. I hope you're doing well. And thanks for gifting the memberships. Members, new members, if you got one, tell her thank you. Shout out to the truest dude who says blessings, Miss AB7 from me and mine. My sister Kina says hi. To tell you hi. I sent her the link, so she should be getting all of this hot tea you have for us as well. Blessings to you in the chat. Thank you, Truist. Truist, huge part of the lead attorneys community and mine. And his sister Kina had, and I hope you don't mind, Truist, like we did shout it out on lead side, has been going through some health things. So we are sending her lots of hugs and hearts and hoping she gets better. That is a huge thing. So we'll always shout out Kina whenever I can, and you, Truist, for being a great brother and, you know, looking out for your sister. Like, that shows you're a great guy. So thank you for that. Thank you, Truist, for the $20 super. Shout out to Christopher Williams with the $9.99. Another big pillar of my channel and leads. Always here, always supports. I can't say enough great things about this guy. Even when I'm not streaming, he will show up and say, when are you streaming again? How can I support? What can I do? I mean, there's not a lot of people like that. There really aren't. So Chris is an amazing person. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Captain John, who says Trump didn't make any of his kids' graduations. Check it out. Captain Jones, love the dog. That dog picture always just makes me melt. I love dogs. They're amazing. But I don't know if he made Eric's, you know, or Ivanka's, whatever the case may be. I know he was heavy in business and didn't make those graduations. Who knows? But I think Barron is in age a lot younger than his siblings. Who knows? Maybe it is an actual legal argument. Maybe it's not. But I think that they were attempting to see how far the judge would go to allow a sitting president the opportunity to have leave from this case. Because here's what's happening, Captain Jones. They want to make him sit in that courtroom for 6 weeks. And they're trying to use the law to say that he he should be in that courtroom every 6 weeks. If they can do it to him, they can do it to you. I think what the attorneys are trying to test here is to see how will you treat a president. And what that does is set precedent for how we treat other people in the country. Criminal law is a big thing. You know, Chandler Remington and I, on my last stream, we showed you guys some body cam footage of how people were treated very nicely during an arrest. And we both agreed, and Chandler's a white woman, and, you know, I'm Cape Verdean, so I'm mixed. I'm Portuguese and African. But I saw just, you know, as a mixed person, being able to look at that from a legal perspective and call bullshit all day. Courtney Clenny's parents were able to have a discussion for 37 minutes before they got cuffed and put in a squad car. Right? Are we going to cuff a president? Biden or Trump, whoever? Are we going to do that? That's what sets precedent. So that's why this case is very important, you know? So shout out to Captain Jones. Shout out to Audrey. Love you, Audrey. She sends $10. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Good to see you. El Becky sends 10. Same thing. No comment, question. Pure love of the games. Captain Jones is back and says, let me know where I can send the link so you can check it out before relaying to your community. Whenever you guys want to send me things, the best way to do it, I'm starting to get so busy, like even today, considered hiring more people to help me. If we're going to do this Trump thing, if you guys want a daily recap, I need help. I need help. I have me and one editor. I had to reach out to another dude last night. I was like, hey, can you help me? So I'm trying to bring on a second editor so we can do this. So that way, between 2 editors and the streams, you will get a daily recap. But if you guys want to send me information, the main way for you to do that, it's better if you do it on Instagram at AV7official, because you know, people on my team have access to that. The email gets clogged because it gets clogged with, I don't know why people do it, but they go to my website and they go to the contact thing. The website is really for services, like if you want me to help you. But people go to the website and then they fill out the form. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you fill out the form should be for like the services that I provide, but folks will put their research there. And then it creates more emails in our email box. So it's harder for us to get to you guys faster. The fastest way for you to get to me is Instagram or Twitter. I look at that personally. So Captain Jones, that's what you can see. I just want to cover one super and we're going to go back. Shout out to Eric. Wow. Eric, thank you. I think this might be one of your first times dropping me a super. And it is extremely generous. And it says, don't worry about live streaming. Taking a minute makes for better analysis. This is the best thing I've read all week, Eric. Thank you. Because this is what I like to do. You know, when I send things to the editors, like I really try to sit down, digest everything that's happened throughout the day, and I try to put myself in y'all's shoes. Like if I needed a 10-minute synopsis, AV, 10-minute recap, everything I needed to know for the day, I want to know the complexities, but user experience, I also want to learn. How does this impact me in an election year? How does this impact me as a voter? So, Eric, wow. Firstly, thank you. Incredibly generous. You are the stream sponsor. And with that being said, I'm not even going to hold him to it. I didn't even go to the paid sponsors, none of that. Eric is taking us right into content. I'm not even going to keep you guys. Eric is right though. And actually, let's ask you guys. Number one, I want you to do two things. I want you to type Eric in the chat. And I want you to put a 1 next to his name if you think short and snappy is better. Or type in Eric and put a 2 in the chat if you prefer live streams. This data helps us plan. It helps us plan. Let us know. Because Eric is like, hey, don't even get it out fast. Get it out fast. We don't, and that's the thing. Like I saw one channel that had 2 million yesterday. These people were getting videos out every 20 minutes. I have friends in New York. I have legal friends. I have lawyer friends in New York. Do you think that none of them can be in the courtroom? So Eric, you just changed my life just now. It's just easier to get stuff out faster, but I do want to see what the audience thinks too. Okay, I put you in the banner. Eric, thank you. We're not even going to waste time. Eric is putting us back where we need to be. Let's get to this legal document. We know today we need 7 jurors have been picked. We need 12 altogether, and we need a few alternates. With jury selection, one of the things that happens is you need to make sure that the jury members are going to be impartial. That's hard. It's a democratic state. It's run by a lot of democratic leaders. It's also run by a lot of people with democratic ideals. There's nothing wrong with that. When I was looking at the people that had the highest views yesterday, it was people that lived in that area that were not fair, that didn't call it down the middle, or at least didn't look at a different perspective. And, it was a lot of New Yorkers. And I'm like, I wonder why this channel with this video has 400,000 views. I'm from the North. I'm from Boston. I'm in Georgia right now. But I thought it was just coming from that place and coming to a place that's Southern, and Atlanta is highly democratic, but I think Georgia in general, and I've had a lot of conversations in this place and gotten to get to know people, a lot of locals. And I've met a lot of people that are on the red side, and that's cool. But each side should be heard. And what I think we are starting to see with media is that it's just not fair or biased. It's on a side. It's on a side. Anyway, so if we think we're going to get fair jurors in New York that have no idea who he is, that don't care about anything, that haven't heard about what he's alleged, what crimes he's alleged to have committed, it's impossible. The case is too big. The case is too big. Then you have Bragg doing this. Let's read what Bragg says, because it's very important. It's very important. Here, and I'm going to just make sure the cheap seats in the back can see this. I want to make sure you guys can read this with me. Here's what Bragg says. Here's why Trump should have been in trouble yesterday. He says, on April 1st, this court entered an order directing defendant to refrain from, among other things, making or directing others to make public statements about known or reasonably foreseeable witnesses concerning their potential participation in the investigation or in this criminal proceeding. This is the gag order. In other words, they're saying, Trump, we are requesting a gag order. Please do not talk about this on Truth Social. Don't talk about it on Twitter. Don't talk about it on Instagram. Don't talk about it anywhere else. For the sake of this case, don't talk about it. At the same time, what's confusing is you also get the judge, Merchan. Merchan also has his daughter that was involved with some of the Democratic campaigns, and they tried to get him disqualified from the case because of that familial connection. That motion failed yesterday due to Judge Merchan, who also doesn't want Trump to go to Barron's high school graduation. Let's keep going. Such extrajudicial statements, the court found, pose a very real threat to the integrity of the judicial proceedings by intimidating both the defendant's direct targets as well as who he may be called upon to participate in these proceedings. So this means like the witnesses. Who are we going to call upon? And rightly, who fear being subject to vitriol. Defendant then sought an emergency stay from the appellate division, First Department, but that court denied such relief on April 9th. Today is April 16th, so April 9th wasn't that long ago. It was last week. The very next day, continuing through this past weekend, this is where it gets real. Let's see if we can zoom in more. This past weekend, defendant, they're talking about Trump here, willfully violated this court's order by publishing several social media posts attacking two known witnesses, Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. Now, Michael has done time for this. There are rumors that Michael was actually involved with Stormy herself. In my last stream, and I was so sad. Everybody watched the Jim Jordan stream that I did. I did a stream on this case. And what was revealed is that Stormy Daniels on April 3rd of 2024 released a documentary about this case. April 3rd. Today's the 16th. 13 days ago, she released a documentary on this case, showcased it, premiered it in New Orleans, and made money and is profiting from this case. Kathy Griffin was in one of her last Instagram posts with her. And I told you guys about Kathy Griffin. For those watching on replay, I'm just gonna pin it to the top. This thing, from whatever side you're coming from, is so hard to understand because all of these players, you don't know whose interest they have. Is it self-interest? Is it protecting another person implicated or going from there? My mind was blown yesterday, guys, when Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' former attorney who's in jail right now, called MSNBC and he played Avi from jail. It was like, Avi, I'm actually on Trump's side on this one. It was, who do you believe? What happens But let's look at what Bragg says here legally. He says over the weekend before the trial started, not only was Trump campaigning, he also posted on Truth Social and he talked about Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. These attacks unquestionably violate the court's April 1st order. So when Merchan tried to muzzle him, Trump making any posts on his own media company's platform or Twitter or Instagram or anywhere when you're campaigning to be the president, apparently all of that is under watch and scrutiny. The defendant's volition is willful. It's a continuation of conduct that this court has already found to be deliberate and intended to intimidate this court. Oh yeah, that's why it's being done. And impede the orderly administration of this trial. Oh yeah, that's why he's talking about it. Sorry, people that hate when I have opinions. Here's why I have a problem with that. If the guy is known to make statements on his platforms every day about random topics, if it is a routine, I do think it's a hard argument for you to make that it is deliberate and willful every day when he talks about it. You know, if we're talking about how communication works, there are standard procedures for how he gets stuff out, and some of them might be vulgar, some of them might be controversial. Fine. We all have those days. Whatever. But are you going to prosecute me, AV, for saying, I hate Van Cleef today? And then the next day I'm like, me and Van Cleef, we've worked well together. It's good. But it's like the stock market. Things ebb and flow. But if I have a court order that says, don't ever speak about Van Cleef, what am I supposed to do? Say, oh yeah, there's this bracelet company that I like that's popular on social media. I don't know. I mean, it's a president. It's a former president. He had served in office. And I hate saying former because we still call President Clinton. We still call President Carter. We still call President Bush. Even the word former from a media standpoint is used purposely. And that's what I'm trying to get people to see. Like I don't care if somebody's committed crimes or whatever. It's not saying that they're a good person or a bad person, but if they have gained the votes of people that believed in them so much that they have become a president, we still have to call him a president. When Bill Clinton got impeached, did we say you are no longer a president? A lot of people didn't agree with the Monica thing. This is the thing though, like when you make arguments like this, and this is what we do in law school, we look at both sides. But it's like you come on the internet and do it and people are like, you suck. It's so much fun. It really is. Let's get back into this document. So they did not want to impede the administration of this trial. And that's why they said, Trump, please don't talk about it on Truth Social or anywhere else. The court warned Trump that any violation of this order will result in sanctions under judiciary law. This court should now hold the defendant in criminal contempt for willfully disobeying a lawful mandate. Again, Bragg is like, hey, we had a court order. I don't care if he's a president. Trump violated that court order. He's not supposed to tweet about this. He's not supposed to talk about this. Even though he's campaigning and under fire, there's, what are we supposed to do with this? Then, here's how you can see the tone starts to change. The defendant is not above the law, and he cannot simply disregard judicial orders that upset him. Look at this sentence. Defendant is not above the law, and he cannot simply disregard judicial orders that upset him. And both the public and the participants in the criminal trial deserve reassurance that the judicial system stands ready to protect them and to preserve the rule of law in the face of the defendant's extreme and deliberate provocations. So, a ton of people just left the chat. They were like, AB, really? We don't like you. That's okay. I'm really just reading a legal document. This is what it says. Page 1. That's what Alvin Bragg mentioned. Let's talk about the background. March 26th, this court issued its original order restricting defendants' extrajudicial statements. This court concluded that the defendant's inflammatory extrajudicial statements undoubtedly risk the impeding orderly administration of this court and warranted restricting his speech. So what did we just read there? So, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, the New York court issued an order saying that Trump cannot talk about this case outside of the courtroom. And they also say that if he does, it risks impeding justice of this court. Therefore, we need to restrict his speech. So that's what it says. I'm reading it. I'm not giving you guys my opinion because when I do, you leave. The defendant responded not by tampering his rhetoric, but instead by deliberately turning his vitriol to this court's family. As a result, April 1, 2024, the court issued a further order restricting the defendant's statements. As amended, the order prohibits the defendant from the following 3 things. 1, making or directing others to make public statements about known or reasonably foreseeable witnesses concerning their participation in the investigation. 2, making or directing others to make statements about counsel in this case other than the DA, members of the court staff. 3, family members of any counsel, staff member, the court, or district attorney. That, I believe, was put in there to protect Judge Merchan's daughter because she was involved in a campaign, right? If those statements are made with the intent to materially interfere with or cause others to materially interfere with counsel or staff's work in this criminal case, or with the knowledge that such interference is likely to result. So obviously there's a lot of nuance there. You have to unpack all of those sentences in the 3 things they just mentioned. And then the last one, making or directing others to make public statements about any jurors or any juror in this criminal proceedings. So 1 is public statements about witnesses. 2, public statements about anybody that's not the district attorney, members that work for the DA or the court. 3, family members that work for the court or family members that work for anyone that is in the courthouse, any staff in the courthouse, in addition to the DA. So this is a protection mechanism. And then lastly is protecting the jurors. Is there a hater issue in the chat? I'm not looking. But I think I see it. The court warned defendant that any violation of this order will result in sanctions under judiciary law. The court also warned defendant that he would forfeit any statutory right that he may have access to juror names if he engages in any conduct that threatens the safety and integrity of the jury and the jury selection process. Jury selection, guys, took place yesterday. So we've been working on that since yesterday. Monday, April 8th, Trump filed a petition in the appellate division seeking to prohibit enforcement of certain aspects of the court's April 1 order, including, as relevant here, its restrictions on speech regarding Michael Cohen. So Trump specifically wanted to be able to freely speak about Michael Cohen and Stephanie Clifford, which I believe is Stormy Daniels. So here's the thing. He requested the ability to be able to talk about that. Okay. And here's the document here. Matter of Trump v. Merchan. Defendant also sought an interim stay of proceedings pending resolution, proceeding in the nature of prohibition. On April 9th, a justice of the appeals court denied his application for relief. So Trump wanted to be able to speak about these two people, and the judge, the appeals court, said no. The petition is currently returnable on April 29th, right? I do think that's interesting on April 29th. Like, we still have some time. On April 10th, just one day after the defendant was denied any interim relief by the appellate division, defendant posted 2 media statements on Truth Social, referring directly to the witnesses in this criminal proceeding. That's why Alan broke all this out for us up here. He's like, hey, here's what he agreed to not do. Over the weekend, when he's facing one of the most important trials ever, he posted 2 things on Truth Social, his own platform that he owns, but for the public to see. The first statement says, on April 10th, 3 days ago, guys, a reproduced social media post by Michael Avenatti, who is now in jail and is like former lawyer for Stormy Daniels. He was later convicted of stealing from her. Avenatti republished a post by Trump, and it states, "We can't be hypocrites when it comes to the First Amendment. It is outrageous that Cohen and Daniels can do countless TV interviews, post on social, make money on bogus documentaries, all by talking shit about Trump. But he's gagged and threatened with jail if he responds." Trump added in his own words, "Thank you, Michael Avenatti, for revealing the truth about 2 sleazebags who have, with their lies and misrepresentations, cost our country dearly." Now, here's the thing. I did see some other stuff that Trump posted. One of which was like Stormy's statement about taking something back or retracting her statement. I did see something like that over the weekend. But with this one, what you have to understand, and I'm not making an excuse, is it's still a campaign. If you are in the shoes of a PR person, and if you're in a PR shitstorm, if the person that you're representing, unfortunately, is in legal trouble, you have to move from there. I told you guys about that constitutional law exam for a reason. And why did I tell you about that? Because you have to think about who are the actors that actually post this stuff, that draft this stuff. Do you think out of all the people that work for Trump that he is sitting there coming up with tweets all day? Or are other people writing the tweets and coming to him or members of his staff and saying, is this okay to post? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Trump himself is just sitting there all goddamn day. I know some of you hate when we say that. If you think he's just sitting there all day on his phone and just typing tweets himself. That's also how this reads. This is why I'm mentioning it from a legal perspective. 1 in the chat if you think he just writes it himself. 2, if you are like, no, other people are writing it. So when we look at documents like this, even though this is happening under his watch, if you think that he wrote it himself, that was the play on that exam, guys. Bringing you in as a law student. That was the play on it. We talk about free speech, but what if you have free speech under your watch, under your supervision, all of those things? Captain Teach says what? I mean, I see some 2s. Some people think he's a tweeter. Some people think that they are reacting. AV is relaxing. I'm in a t-shirt. You know, I'm chilling, champ. I'm chilling in the parentheses t-shirt, which is new. I'm going to come to you guys in the supers. But like, yeah, Captain T is like, yeah, because they're misspelled. Who's behind the screen? Who is behind the phone? Who's typing them? Who's posting them? It's not always him, and that's the thing. He might, like, I undoubtedly do not think that he doesn't have a part of it. Like, if he's not in the room ranting like, that's fucking bullshit, like, write that and put that, post that. I can totally see him like, post that one, post this one. And then I can see other people like, oh, remember that Michael Avenatti thing from like 2 years ago? We should post that too. When you are that busy, when you're the executive of anything, half the time you don't remember anything. It is the people around you that help you craft narratives. It's the people around you that help you put stuff out. I'm not making an excuse for this. What I'm saying is the reality of the world of business. I supported a CEO at one of the nation's top 5 banks. He didn't remember anything. He relied on us to remember the stuff for him. Like, oh yeah, you have that idea. Let's add on to that idea with this thing from the past and add it on to this and then get this from over here. And that's how it works. The way that this is written is he is a sole think tank for all of this. And I'm just fairly, I hope fairly, trying to see or show you guys that that's not the reality from a PR standpoint. It is not. It isn't. It might have his style, like, yeah, it'll cost our country dearly. Yeah, it might. But you know how sometimes this is how you know. Sometimes he'll be giving speeches and these things will go out at the same damn time. Do you think you wrote it? Come on. It's a team. Okay, so Alvin, Adam, Bragg, whatever, is saying that this is the first statement that should get him, you know, like he should be gagged. And here's the penalty for it. $3,000. Let's go back. Defendant's second statement. So Trump's second statement that this DA has a problem with, posted on April 10th, 3 days ago, at 10:48 a.m. contained a picture of a document titled Official Statement of Stormy Daniels. I did see this over the weekend. I did. It was dated January 30th, 2018, which refers to facts that are directly at issue in this criminal trial. You see how Bragg is like, you talked about it. You talked about it. That's why you should be fined. That's why you should, you should still sit here for 6 to 8 weeks. You talked about it and we gagged you. And it accompanied a picture with his own statement that says, "Look at what I just found. Will the fake news report it?" I saw this too. And it was a statement from Stormy that was like, "Hey, I don't want problems with this, blah, blah, blah." Right? Notice that in this legal document, it does not show you what Stormy said. It says the defendant's second statement. It contained a picture of the document that says Official Statement of Stormy Daniels, which refers to facts that are directly at issue in this criminal trial. Defendant accompanied the picture with the statement. They're focusing on everything that Trump did. We do not see what Stormy said. I think it would have been fair and balanced to see what the content of that was, and maybe it's in an exhibit towards the end. Maybe it is. Now, we go to a third statement. Third statement over here, posted April 13th. What's today? 16th? A few days ago. And it stated, "Has Mark been prosecuted for his terrible acts in and out of the DA's office? Has disgraced attorney and felon Michael Cohen been prosecuted for lying? Only Trump people get prosecuted by this judge and these thugs. A dark day for our country. MAGA 2024. Those are the three statements. Now, he's talking about the case here in this one. I can see that. There's not a contrarian view on that one. He's just talking about it's supposed. Do I think he's posted this stuff himself? No. That's why it becomes a constitutional free speech and First Amendment issue, because when you have people working for you, but they speak on your behalf, is it necessarily you violating the free speech? Crazy. Argument. This is a quote. It says, and it's coming from a case from 1987. I don't even want to read the quote. It says, "Allegations of willful disobedience in a proper judicial order strike at the core of the judicial process and implicate weighty public and institutional concerns regarding the integrity and respect for judicial orders." Again, quoting a 1987 case. "To vindicate these interests and to protect the dignity of the judicial system and to compel its mandates." 1983 case. "The judiciary law authorizes a court to hold a party in criminal contempt for their willful disobedience of a court's lawful mandate." Quoting a 2009 case. In the state of New York, for criminal attempt or contempt to apply, the moving party must establish the exercise of lawful order, expressing an unequivocal mandate, the violation of the order, and that it's made with knowledge and is willful. That's it. That's the standard in New York. You don't have to do anything more than those three things. So look at how, in my opinion, a little weak these legal arguments are. You're using case law from the the 80s. You're using case law from the 80s in a modern time. And even the subject matter here, these are tweets, not even tweets. It's Truth Social. It's his own platform. They're public statements on that platform. But even with that, we're using case law from the 80s for communications in the modern era in 2024. Is that not 50 years? Okay. The moving party must establish these elements beyond a reasonable doubt. 1984 again. Each of these elements is established here. This is his argument. The court's April order is unequivocal and lawful. The defendant's recent social media posts plainly violate the order because they target known witnesses concerning their participation in a criminal proceeding. And defendants' violations were knowing and willful. Indeed, they are the latest in what this court has already recognized as a deliberate strategy to impede this criminal trial. This court should accordingly impose sanctions, direct defendant to remove the social media posts that violate the April 1 order, remind the defendant of his obligations under the order, and warn the defendant that future violations can be punished with additional sanctions, including imprisonment. We have a president in court for weeks on something that happened 8 years ago. Can't campaign. I'm going to read you that paragraph again with what they say that they want. Because when an attorney, a DA, when they write, hey, we think that somebody violated an order, here's how we think that they violated that order, here's the law, and here's the case law to support what the rule of law is in our state, and I'm going to tell you how this person did it. But, dear judge, here's what I want you to do. I want you to direct the defendant to remove the posts that violate this order. That's the first thing. Tell him to take the post off. Remind him of his obligations under the order. Warn him that future violations can be punished with more sanctions, more $3,000 fines, including imprisonment. 4 things right there. Damn, you guys hate this stream. Like, everyone left. I'm just reading the document. I mean, damn, that's terrible. The court's order restricting extrajudicial statements is lawful, expressing an unequivocal mandate. All right, so they talk about criminal contempt, and in order to qualify for criminal contempt in the state of New York, this is what you need to do. Right? They cite a case here. To establish the existence of this order, a party needs to demonstrate an order of a court of contempt jurisdiction which is not void on its face. So we see that. In addition, the court's directive must be sufficiently definitive to rule out that the violation was inadvertent or mistaken. So you have that. This is a 2015 case here. Or based on a legitimate disagreement about what was permitted. Each of these requirements is plainly satisfied here. So this is Bragg's argument. He's saying, first, a court order restricting his statements is lawful. The court properly obtained jurisdiction over it when Trump was arraigned. And the order restricting the statements was one that the courts authorized to issue in criminal cases. Second, the order's directives are unequivocal. The defendant is prohibited from making or directing others to make public statements. So they've repeated that. To be sure, the defendant has loudly and repeatedly complained that the order is unlawful. and both filings and public statements, but no court has agreed with his objections, and the defendant's mere disagreement with the court's order is no defense to criminal contempt. All that's here. To the contrary, persons subject to an injunctive order, they are expected to obey that order. Again, 1980s case. They talk about how he violated the court's order. I'm not going to go too far into that. I will post this in the description box, but yeah, guys, I do think I'm being hacked right now because I'm looking at this stream. It went from a very healthy amount of participation down to like 0. So defendant willfully violated the order. And they give you 3 reasons why, and the court should impose those sanctions. I've never seen something like this in my life. But what I will do, because this was filed last night, yesterday, April 15th, I've never seen a stream go down from hundreds of people to like 20. Never. I'm going to read my supers and we're going to go from there. But this seems very, very interesting. Thank you again, Eric, for your support of the channel. Shout out to Captain Jones, who says, LOL, too funny. Thank you so much. Shout out to Captain Jones on that one. Shout out to Dianara, who says, we had a First Amendment right. Thank you so much. Shout out to Tamara, who says, you got this, AV, rooting for you. Thank you so much. I mean, Tamara, something's going on here. Hundreds of people to 5. Don't know what's going on. Captain Jones says, thanks for teaching me law, AV. Often I get swayed by past emotional trauma when I should focus on the facts. Thanks for the therapy session. Anytime. It's all good, Captain Jones. I appreciate that. Shout out to Miss Stephanie Walker, who says, you are great, high value woman. She rocks. Show off and show out. Thank you. And then Eric, thank you for being here. Eric says, I didn't mean to say you shouldn't ever live stream. Live stream Supreme Court arguments are tough to explain to us. Every legal argument is in live time. That's true. This trial isn't that, though it will possibly end up there. It most likely will. And this is very interesting to me, guys. Like it is showing me that I have like 2 people in chat right now. And 10 minutes ago, there were hundreds of you here. So think I might have pissed off the YouTube algorithm, but Eric, I'm going to keep going. Shout out to you. And you are the stream sponsor with 500 now. Thank you so much for all that you're doing for me and this channel. It's a small channel. I can see how information is suppressed down to 1 person in the chat, but thank you again for that. Shout out to Nono, who says, Nono is here. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here. Listen, I appreciate you being here because, okay, this is so weird, guys. Like all of you guys are like, no, we're here. We're up in here. The count's off. Kim's like, we're here. We're still here. Maybe it is StreamYard. Like, I'm not kidding. It shows that I'm live, but it shows that there are 2 people in this chat right now. And there were hundreds of you guys like 3 seconds ago. That's why I'm like, is something wrong? Am I being suppressed? Are they taking away my First Amendment rights? Like the plot thickens. I can't talk about it on YouTube. It just went down. Now there's 2 of y'all on my side. This is so crazy. I did, Eric. I did. I don't know what I did. If I refresh, the problem is YouTube says 6. Isn't that crazy, petty? It could be YouTube. Truest. But like the way that you guys are chatting is not 6 or 7. They're coming for me, Captain Teach. They're coming for me. I don't know what else to say. I'm scared now. Untamed, there's way more. Like, I'm already seeing the names in the last 20 seconds. There's way more than 8 people in the chat right now. I don't know what YouTube's doing. But I want to go back, and I'm just going to go back to the document and ignore the glitch that's happening right now. It went down to 2. It's going down to 1. They might be kicking me off. Wow. No, like, look at how fast the chat is going. Like, what, right? CEO, what is this? Okay. Can y'all go to Phil Holloway? Phil Holloway is streaming right now too, I think. I don't know if he went past 8 p.m. It is, Diane. Well over, not sure. Secrety, they're like, but that's the thing. It's just like, we can't talk. I want to talk. I'm trying to do this in the most fair way possible. No's like, hell nah. They better not. Yeah, there's so many of you guys in the chat right now. Okay, I'm not gonna stop. I'll go back. We were just cooking. It literally says right now on my streamer, it says there's only one of y'all in the chat. One. Okay, Miss O says it's YouTube. It's so weird. Okay, I'm just going to go back and continue this like I normally would. Where I got... Listen, Hayden, you never know. You never know. This is strange. Strange. I'm going to go back to Eric because Eric is a stream sponsor. I know there's more than 2 of y'all in the chat right now, but if y'all could type in AZ in the chat, that would be huge for me because he is sponsoring the stream. It's a little bit of a glitchy one, as we can see. It's a little bit of a testy one. But he's a new name in my space too. And for him to come over here and drop $500, you know, he doesn't know me like that. I don't know Eric, but it's one of those things where I remember it when I see it. If y'all can type Eric in the chat, AZ, that would be huge. But Eric, look, like, we're making history. Like, they're coming after me, man. I got Nono. Shout out to El Becky, who says, keep going, you're doing great. Shout out to Miss Joy, who's like, we up in here, AV, we love you. See, these numbers are not reflective. There's something wrong here. And DJ Dunbar Grapes, who says, we here, can't stop the process. We cannot. So I'm going to go back up to this document then, since I know y'all are here, but the numbers are not reflective on my side. We talked about Alvin Bragg. And we talked about what his arguments were. And even in that, like, I went to another screen. Even in 3 minutes, it shows that 84 of y'all have dropped comments. So it's something's happened. Something is being done to your girl. Anywho, so this was dropped last night, and they want to stop Trump from being able to talk about this case at all. The other thing that I want to do is at least show you what his like comments have been on YouTube, because like, we can't get in the courtroom. This trial is not being live streamed. You can't get anybody in the hallway to give comments. All we can see is what Trump says in the morning and what he says in the afternoon. And then the only other thing that we can rely on is the reporters that are in the courtroom every single day, you know, and some of them are on the left and some of them are on the right. What I'm saying is, you don't really have a lot of people in the middle that are like calling it from a legal perspective. You don't see it, right? Let me just say, Trump today. Midas Touch is that other channel. Maybe Midas Touch is attacking me. Midas Touch is the other channel. I don't know how they're doing it. They're getting a ton of stuff out very quickly. Okay, that was from yesterday. Yeah, they're getting a ton of stuff out very quickly. Like they're doing like a bunch of videos a day just on this one topic. You know, but I'm trying to do this as much as I can. Shout out to The Devil is a Lie. We in here. Shout out to the Professional Nomad podcast. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a little thrown off by this thing. This is weird. This is weird. I wanted to find Trump's speech from this morning because I did watch it. But I guess what I will do to make sure that this glitch is not real, I'm going to drop the link. So if a few of you guys do want to come up, I also encourage a ton of content creators to come up if you have channels. Like it's great exposure. It's a great way to like for you guys to show your channels, what you're up to, talk about your stuff, your business ventures, all of that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. So if a few of you guys want to come up and talk about this, give me your opinions. It'd be really great to talk to you. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat and pin it since it's like, oh yeah, you have 6 people in here. You're so nice. You are so nice, YouTube. Pinning message to the top. Join me if you want. If not, no big deal. I'm going to go to Cash Apps on my phone for a second. Thank you so much, Professional Nomad Podcast. Very, very nice of you. As far as Cash Apps that I have, I want to shout out a few people here. Shout out to Regina, who says, great coverage. Thank you so much, Regina. Really appreciate that. I think I got Retta last time. She says, love for you, AV. Thank you. Thank you. We are down to 2. There's something wrong with the stream today. There is something really wrong with the stream today. All right, guys. I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I see only 2 people watching on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Leave me a comment if you've watched this whole thing through. We are going to timestamp everything and go from there. Hopefully it's not a glitch with YouTube. Hopefully they're not mad at me because I'm covering this topic. But I'm going to go ahead and end it. This is just really irregular. And I see so many of you guys that are like, shout out to Papa V, who's like, AV, I counted 20 separate balls in the chat. Like, yeah, you guys are telling me that you're still here. It's a YouTube count glitch. Cryptonomics is in like almost every stream that I do. Okay, it's a known YouTube glitch. It's freaking me out. Special K is like, stop, AV. I'm sorry. I mean, this is the worst thing you could do as a YouTuber, aside from using parentheses in legal documents. The worst thing you can do is do a stream and there's like 3 people in your joint. It's just like, oh my God, failure. What's happening? I straightened my hair and everything. Worked so hard today. And it's just like, are you literally telling me, YouTube, I blood, sweat, and tears? There's only 2 people. What? It just went down to 4. Everybody's like, reset the stream. Here's the thing, Mark, if I do, it's going to turn it off. Y'all want me to do it? Okay. Should I reset the stream? Put a 1 in the chat if I should do it. Put a 2 in the chat if you say just ignore it and let's just forget the glitch. Let's just keep going. 1 person says I should do it. Yeah, I see John. John's in the building. Like a ton of my faves are in here. Okay, everybody's like, ignore it, ignore it. Okay. Sorry. I am paranoid. Like I'm kicking things. Like I'm like, oh my God. I've never been this paranoid on YouTube. Thank you guys for being awesome about this. I'm going to go ahead and try to find Trump's speech from this morning so we can see like how stunted this communication is. It's stunted to the point where like all we have is what he's saying in the morning and what is said in the afternoon. I think I saw it on his Instagram this morning. Perfect. I have it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it. And this is his address from this morning. And we'll go ahead and go from there. I love all of you. 4 people in the chat. You're the best. I really appreciate you being here. And again, stream sponsor Eric. Eric, you're sponsoring the debauchery of things like this happening. But let's go to Trump's Instagram. And I did see this morning. It looks like what their campaign is doing is showing these daily addresses. Okay. It's about a minute long. So I'm going to go ahead and play it and then we can go from there.
This is a trial that should have never been brought. It's a trial that is being looked upon, looked at all over the world. They're looking at it and analyzing it. Every legal pundit, every legal scholar said this trial is a disgrace. We have a Trump-hating judge. We have a judge who shouldn't be on this case. He's totally conflicted. But this is a trial that should never happen. It should have been thrown out a long time ago. If you look at Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, all great legal scholars, there's not one that we've been able to find that said this should be a trial. I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you've been indicted over that? I should be right now in Pennsylvania, in Florida, in many other states, North Carolina, Georgia, campaigning. This is all coming from the Biden White House because the guy can't put 2 sentences together. He can't campaign. They're using this in order to try and win an election. And it's not working that way. It's working the opposite way. So check that out, legal expense. It's called legal expense. That's what you're supposed to call it. Mr. Trump, get indicted on that. Nobody's ever seen it. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. So thank you very much for coming. I'm now going to sit down for many hours. I am now going to sit down. The voters understand it. All you have to do is look at the polls. This is a sham trial, and the judge should recuse himself. Thank you very much.
All right. So as we can see, shout out to Papa V. The plot thickens, Papa V. He says, hopefully this isn't the same counter that will be used on voting machines. Papa, the plot thickens. Isn't this crazy? Like we're talking about the whole election thing, and then all of a sudden my numbers just drop. And shout out to Cryptonomics. I think I just saw him say that. He was just like, you have like 130 people. Like there's so many of you guys that are like, what the hell? And shout out to you guys that have verified that it is some stuff that are that's happening on YouTube. Like Champ Low says, hang in there. We got your back. Thank you. Thank you, Champ. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I don't know. I mean, that's the other thing. Like LM, I was so excited because if you guys follow me in the lead attorney, we, a few streams ago, I think it was one of the Diddy streams. We were reading a legal document and one of the lawyers had been practicing law for like 40 years. And he kept putting things in parentheses. And what I love to do is when I stream with him and you guys think that something is funny, I'll like jot it down and I'll get a t-shirt made. That's what happened with That Was Cute. That Was Cute was just a joke. Like I just like to show up on the streams with these shirts and then let you guys figure it out. If you were there for that stream, then you remember parentheses. because like this lawyer put parentheses in almost every sentence. Like every other sentence, there was something in parentheses. So that's why I was like, TLA AB7 2024. Like I needed to make it a shirt. But like I love the chat in our community because even on that side, I'm always watching just to see like what I can pick up from the chat. Like so many of you guys come up with these ideas for the shirts. I forgot who had mentioned, oh, that was cute thing. And then I was like, all right, I got to put that on a shirt. So if you're new to our community, like this is the thing. Everybody wants the shirt. Shout out to Coach B, who was like, the lawyer was like, parentheses in parentheses. Yeah, some of the sentences had things in parentheses and then included more parentheses. That's where this came from. He got so pissed off, Johnson, he couldn't read it. He just couldn't read it. When you get the lead attorney to stop reading a document, you effed up. Like, if you have a 20-year divorce lawyer that does not want to read your document anymore, you did something wrong. That's what happened. That's what happened. Shout out to Candy. Candy! She says, and I'm not able to like this. I've been on a bunch of streams and I'm getting weird messages about the resources being exhausted. I can't even subscribe. I was already subscribed. Guys, this is what I mean. YouTube has COVID today. YouTube has COVID. What is this? Like, forget the not getting subscriptions and all that. Like, even today, like I am going live a little bit later. And shout out to one of my faves, High Value Man. Even he's saying it. I didn't get a notification that you were live. So we see that YouTube is now on my side, guys. It says that 2 of you guys are in the chat right now. 2, dos. We can say that it's Candy and High Value Man. 2 of you guys are in the chat. Stu's from the UK. Stu says all of my subscriptions have disappeared. YouTube is down. It's down. Did it kick you off? Crypto, where did you go? Where did I just saw it? Where did you go? It kicked you off? Can you guys verify that it's not just me because I'm talking about politics? That would make me feel so much better before I go to bed. Check your favorite channels. I don't care if it's a cooking channel, if it is a podcast, check your other channels. Chat, you guys are so smart. You guys are like my Siri. Check out other channels. Just check out your other stuff. It made you. And Stu, across the pond, it's happening in the UK too. High Value Man, is this happening in Russia? Are we being attacked? High Value Man, are we being attacked? He says, I didn't get any notification that you were live. I'm sorry. I don't know. Something is happening with YouTube. Like there's clearly much more of y'all in this chat right now. And on my side, like even right now, saying that there are 5 of y'all here. The 5 of you that are here, for us to prove that YouTube is absolutely wrong, if y'all could type in HVM in the chat, that would be fantastic. He's on the West Coast, so that's also showing a time difference. This is why I love getting to know you guys. People are saying they're still subscribed. Tom says it's a Biden cyber attack. We are in the middle of a major hack attack. Thank you, Introspect. Kim says all of her she just looked at her subscriptions and all of them are gone. My bell is off for notifications. I'm having issues with YouTube. Server problems. Diddy came for me, Captain Teach. Listen, I got my nails done today. The white nails are gone. I went back to the regular pink. But like I got rid of the freak off nails. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't look at it. Are we getting attacked? All of my subs are gone. All channels are down. What's happened? It's happening to Carolyn Basinko's thing. Shout out to High Value Man. Hey, High Value Man. You are literally sponsoring this debauchery. We're in the middle of a cyber attack. Let me see if I can look this up, guys, so we can look at it together in real time. Is there a YouTube cyber attack? Yeah. Let's go to Google News. YouTube down. Let's try that. YouTube cracks down on ad blocking apps. I don't see anything. I'm going to go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter and let's see if YouTube is down. Going to trending. Nothing yet. I mean, are people widely reporting this? Okay, all right. Yeah, no, I see it. 32 seconds ago, people are like, your app broke down. What the hell? People checking Twitter to reconfirm if YouTube is down. They're doing it worldwide. I see it. Okay, 14 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. Guys, YouTube is down. YouTube is down. Okay. I mean, it's still working for us. We're still here. V says, all my favorite YouTubers are live streaming with only double digits. Shout out to High Value Meon. He's the bestest. Darla says, I can't like on other vids. Yours went through though. Thank you. Shout out to that. Like, I love it. HV to the M. Oh my God. Maybe what I should do for High Value Man is get him like a theme song for my soundboard. That would be fantastic. My subscriptions are gone. All right. You guys are verifying. Damn it, AV, just to prove YouTube is wrong. I mean, yeah, solar, it's wrong. Oh, yeah, the parentheses. You were there. You were there, Steph. You remember that? Dominion bought YouTube viewer count system, probably. This is what happened to votes. It's China, Les. It's China. Niche down for what says, when I was working on my 2 channels, sometimes it would say not available when I clicked on view channel. This has been happening for a few hours. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. High Value Man is back again. He says, I was gonna say, is my roadcaster down? It says error message. Resource has been exhausted. E.g., check quota. I see that too. So a lot of people are on Twitter right now freaking out, saying something is wrong. User reports indicate, let me just show you guys my screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at. So that way we know, like, YouTube is having a problem right now. But yeah, control plus, so command plus, so y'all can see it with me. Yeah, so here's Twitter. Everybody, I just typed in YouTube down just to see what people are saying. It says weird issues happening all over YouTube tonight. You know, like, look at this. This person is showing a big spike in view. I wish I had that. You know, just a bunch of like people watching. It says YouTube seems to be down. The silence is already getting louder. Look at this meme. Yeah, that is me right now. That is totally me. Everybody's like, is YouTube down? I can't sub to anyone, like anything, can't search or watch history. And imagine if any of you are watching on a TV, please let me know what that experience is like. Because usually you guys are able to watch us on a TV and just follow along. But so many of you guys watch us on a phone. So many of you guys watch us on your, like, if you're cooking, on your laptops, on your iPads and stuff, like if you're folding laundry or whatever, like it's like your community space. How dare YouTube shut off a live stream? It's starting to come up. Now it shows 123 of you guys. Usually I get like 700, almost 1,000. On a bad day, 500. So something's definitely off. Like I know there are much more of you guys in here than that. Anywho, so it looks like it is down. So it's showing that the likes were down. People are confirming this is 4 minutes ago that YouTube is down. YouTube is down. Is it trending now? Is YouTube down? It's trending. Opening X to confirm if YouTube is down. Is that bad that we all come to Instagram or YouTube to verify that it's down? People running. Yeah, look, 57 seconds ago, everybody's running. This is funny. Everybody running to Twitter to see if YouTube is down. That's actually funny. That's a funny one. High Value Man, thank you so much for coming in and saving the day. Thank you. If y'all could type in HVM to show YouTube that I have more than 2 people in the chat, that, oh my God, it would just mean the world to me. Coggy from Canada says the same thing. All of her subs are gone. Will, that's right, the debauchery. YouTube will not let you like it. Fed scared AV, that's not nice. Well, you know what it was, Will? I was actually afraid because, and wait, let's bring High Value Man back up. I was afraid. I thought the feds found this stream and they were like, you can't talk about this. You're talking about Trump's trial today? How dare you? How dare you, AV? We're going to take you down from this platform. That's what it felt like. So HBM, I was a little scared. Kagi says, oh, well. The boss lady Hicks says, I can't resubscribe. Isn't it? That's such bullshit. Do you know how hard I work to get people to subscribe to this channel? They're kicking people off my little tiny channel, boss lady. Oh. Champ, I'm trying to be. It's a little frustrated. Captain T says internal error. Trump syndrome. Who, me, Gina? Introspect says AP is the most beautiful woman ever. Thank you so much. I do need to get my eyebrows done though. So now you can't look at them for the rest of the stream. You guys can't look at my eyebrows. I just pointed out a flaw. Stu says, I just liked your stream. It says my resource is exhausted. Haha. It does. Well, my eyebrows are exhausted. Don't look at them. Report it, AV. I mean, I don't know what else to do, Dub. Dubby, what do we do here? YT says something went wrong. Try again. Okay. I did. Maybe my eyebrows broke YouTube Solar. I need to get them done that bad. Everyone else is down but us. Will, don't say that. Willie. Sherry says, I'm on YouTube 24/7. I had no problems. We told you don't stop. Yeah, that's right. If he has more likes than viewers, let them in. That's the thing, Will. I don't lock people out yet. Google itself is biased. I believe that, Edwin. Thank you for saying that. YouTube is down. Okay. Maybe Candy. Because that's the thing. We can't. Okay. Do I need to get over my eyebrows? I need to get over my eyebrows. Don't look at them. Wait, let me put the other glasses on so you guys can see my eyebrows. So, all right, they can hide behind these frames. Yes. I think that's the interesting thing. There's a lot going on in the news in the last 24 hours. The other big thing that's happening right now is the whole issue with Iran and Israel. So there's a lot going on. And then you have this trial of a past president. I don't know. Maybe it broke YouTube. Maybe it did. And Candy, I think you're in the UK too. Mark says my subscriptions on my iPad mini are there. It's weird. I wonder if it's per platform. Miss O says I tried liking another video. Nope, not going to happen tonight. Thank you guys for giving me my likes. And I think if Lead was here, like we would appreciate these likes because it's like prior glitch likes. You guys are so special to us for hitting that button. You have no idea. Young Black Economist says, I thought my YouTube channel got banned for a minute when I first, girl, is it so crazy? Will says 4 channels and Anonymous have joined forces to troll YouTube. Is that what happened? YouTube scrubbing evidence on servers? I don't know. I'm gonna just look at this Twitter feed again. Nothing news up. Few things that are new. It just like shows everybody coming over here. 6 minutes, everybody checking Twitter to confirm if YouTube's down. What do you do if you don't have cable and you only use YouTube for TV or Netflix? Maybe you go to Netflix, but like, what do you do? Not sure. Let me open my stats. Lakers, baby. No, Celtics. Come on. It's Trump. YouTube problem is Trump support. Gino, come on, man. Man or woman, Gino. I don't think it's him. Like Trump's on trial. He has to go back to court in the morning. I don't think he's worried about YouTube. Ooh, is it Rocket Man? I ran on that BS. I mean, niche down. It's a Viagra spike. Stu just took me out. Stu said that chart you're looking at is a blue chew. YouTube caught COVID. You guys are gonna make me scream laugh tonight. Eyelet says that spike is. I'm done with you guys. Not sure says first the radars, now the tubes. Now you have 115. Thank you, Coach B. Solar says, what will we do without the internet? Short war. Like, we're going to have, go outside. And I think all of us are going to just have to send smoke signals to each other. You'll be like, oh my God, hey, V is live. And then you're going to start sending smoke out. Damn, I didn't even shout out my sponsor. That's okay. We'll do it in the next stream. Oh. Adina says, I need YouTube to behave so that I can work on my MBA research project while being entertained. Congrats on getting your MBA, Adina. That's very amazing. That is awesome. Likes are working again. It looks like it's stabilizing. Now it shows like 200 of you guys. I still think that that's not accurate. Darla says, I got to like you twice. Is it election night? Darla! Y'all are on one. This is actually fun though. It's giving me an opportunity to get to know you and read the chat. YouTube caught COVID too early. Fallout happening. Where is my vault? High Value Man is getting all his shout outs. That's awesome. I love it. Candy, did you just subscribe? They kicked you off as a subscriber? As a subscriber, I love you, Candy. They kicked you off? Oh my God. What's that in the sky? It's a bright light bulb. Solar, stop playing. We just had an eclipse. Mark said, the lead attorney sent YouTube a cease and desist letter. Warning. Can you guys imagine what that would look like? I can hear it in my mind because he's so charismatic, big smile. You guys know him and love him. Super handsome. Like you think you're dealing with a nice attorney. You sit on the other side of the table. As soon as his face goes like, as soon as the face goes like serious, you're about to get murdered on the other side of that table. Like, I'm not even kidding. You know, and it's like on YouTube, it's fun and games, but I would never want to argue against it. This is in his head. I say it all the time. Do you know where I learned? I got this book from, this is in his cabasa. This whole book is in his head. This whole book's in Lee's head. It's his favorite book. I've gone on, we went to a meetup last year with other law tubers. We were on the plane. He reads this for fun. So when you guys come up on the panel and I'm like, oh, good. Like, what is pai, Espírito Santo, they say it in Portuguese. I'm like, I just watch you guys go up and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and just, and it's all here. You could see it. I'll read you an example. Cross-examination science and techniques. They take you through the questions and answers. Question: you've been smuggling loads of marijuana for 4 years. Answer: yes. You've gotten away with it dozens of times. Answer: yes. Question: you smuggled a load of marijuana from El Paso to Denver. Answer: yes. Question: was it your load? True. Were you the driver? Right. On September of 2021, you smuggled a load from LA to Denver. Yes. It was your load. Yes, because that's the thing. Like when we question you guys on cross-examination, we have to get all this stuff out on for the record. So there's a very artful way to do it. But there are times where you'll have a hostile witness and they will not give you the answers that you look for. So you have to get crafty with how you answer questions. So like that's why I love watching you guys come up, because I know this. But he's been reading this for like 20 years. It's in his head. He reads it for spare like leisure. So now when we go back to his side and when people come up again, and for the people that have come up in the past, I don't want you to feel bad. That was me a few times. I've been doing this for 2 years with him. I just want you to know, when you see his eyes go like this and he starts to get a little serious a little bit, that's it. That's the battle face. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Mark. I'm not doing it. The gout. I miss him. Do you guys miss him? I miss doing this on YouTube with him. High value man. Why are you giving out memberships? You're giving everybody out memberships, and when we have a glitch, are they gonna get it? But thank you, guys. Look at how hard High Value Man is coming into this and showing the support. During a glitch. This is like what makes this job so fun. Like we were able to pivot. We started this super serious, like here's what we're going to do with this Trump trial. Let's look at the documents. I also just really, really, really want to shout out people like High Value Man. And most importantly, like the stream sponsor today, checking out like someone new, Eric. I have never seen Eric super chat like this before, but it could be, the topic. And I'm happy, Eric, that you're new to this community. I'm super, grateful for people like Nono and for people like High Value Man in the moment of a glitch. Can you guys imagine if we did this on lead stream right now? He'd be like, AV, read all these super chats. Read all of them. If you got a membership from High Value Man, do me a huge favor and say thank you. He does not have to do this. He's been in the last 3 or 4 streams. He has been supporting. Lead has mentioned to you guys that he's taking a little bit of a break from YouTube. And I jumped on here and I'm trying to hold it down as much as possible. I know I'm a lot smaller. I don't have 400,000 subscribers. I have 25. But I'm here and I'm trying to bring you guys the news and keep our community alive in the meantime. Right? So for High Value Man to give you guys memberships on my side is a huge commitment forward. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because the Lord knows I don't even know how to finish this right now with this glitch. I don't. I really don't. So thank you, High Value Man. I so appreciate you. Shout out to Kim K, who says my subs are showing on my computer, but not your phone. What you laughing at, champ? Young says that's the trauma right there. I thought it was law enforcement as well. John says YouTube is corrupted beyond redemption. That's the shirt for the men. That's y'all's merch. Darla says my subs are back. I like the angry AV. Did you see it, Stu? How would you describe an angry person in the UK? Like, teach us like a UK word that like Americans would not use normally. That'd be great. Will says I'm still subscribed. Okay, you guys are telling me you're here. No. Shout out to No to the No, who says if you see black SUVs in front of your house, run. Hold on, where's? He just reminded me. I'm just gonna check the cameras real quick. No, this is what you're doing. No, I have to check my cameras. I just want to make sure nobody's outside. Last hour movement front yard camera. All right, just people walking dogs. I think we're okay. Thank you for that reminder. No. I live by myself. Like, you just thank you. And thank you so much for the $50 super. This is why you're the best. This is why you're the best. Y'all, my brothers are taking care of me tonight. Stu, did you look at my eyebrows? Damn, they're so bad. I need to go tomorrow. Who says that? Not sure says they had all the weather radars going down 2 days ago. Blamed it on network issues. Something's going on with cyber. Captain Teach says it's the eclipse. Get over your eyebrows. Ecopone, listen. Hey, Papa V, did you still see them? John, yes, I'm a girl. Okay, I'm a little late there. Shout out to Candy, who says, so I was able to like subscribe again just now. Everyone try it. And by the way, if YouTube fixed whatever the hell is just going on, do me a favor and also just make sure that your notifications are on. And when you do that, if you click on it, what they do by accident, I don't know why YouTube does this, is it changes your notifications without your consent to personalized. You have to have them on all. Usually if Lead and I are going live or something like that, I will let you guys know on the community tab. But if you don't have it set to all, you're not going to get our notifications. Like, it's just going to be like, you'll see it the next day, like, oh my God. And so many of you guys are leaving comments like, I didn't know you went live yesterday. What's going on? Like, it's because of that feature. So while we're on the topic of a glitch, check if you're subscribed. Give me a like if you can. If it's fixed, hit the like button. Leave a comment. But make sure that it doesn't say personalized and it says all. This is the perfect time to check. So Candy, great reminder. Thank you again. And thank you for dropping that. I don't think he's lurking. I think he's really taking some time off. You know, he's doing his thing. Hidden says, no, freak off nails. I can't watch you. Well, Hidden, did you hear the story? Like, last time I got my nails done, I got them painted white. And it's because I thought like the world was done talking about Diddy. And legit, Hidden, I kid you not, I was at the nail salon that morning, 9 a.m., got my nails done, white. I was like, okay. After I read that complaint in November, 2 weeks ago was what? First week of April, second week of April. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do white nail polish. I held out for 6 months, not trying white nail polish. I went to every color in the spectrum that I can go to. I avoided white nail polish. The day I picked white nail polish, and as I was looking for topics to cover on this channel, 2 to 3 hours later, it said Diddy's house got raided. I said, damn it! Because when we get our nails done, we get gel, you know, like we get all these complicated things that last 2 weeks. Like this color is called bubble bath. You know, it's pink. And I'm like, bubble bath is safe. It's clean. You can't go wrong with bubble bath. It's clean. It's light pink. It matches your, you know, it's neutral. It's safe. But when I picked the white, just reminds me of like freak off nails because Diddy. Jesus. Captain Teach says you're screwed. Stu says I'll have to get the book out of Netflix and you'll have to get the book out if Netflix and YouTube went down. Oh, you're an avid reader. The judge has gagged me too. And You guys are on fire today with the jokes. Oh, I love you guys. Janelle says she uses Roku and YouTube. I love it. Someone transmitting something from my pit boy. Whoop. Kagi says, whoopee, all my subscriptions are back. Okay. Papa V from the old school says, I'm gonna rip out the rabbit ears. He said, I'm gonna whip them out, put them on the TV, and start moving them around to get a signal from channel 4, 5, the basic channels. Shout out to Papa V. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, bunny ears on the TVs. TV has transformed so much over the years, guys. Like now we can stream. You can watch. Some of you guys are probably watching me on your TV. In the last 40, 50 years, we went from bunny ears with the antenna to cable. People used to have a hot box. So if you wanted to like jack cable, like there was like, sorry, there's a little bit of Section 8 here. There was the hot box where you can jack cable for free somehow. I don't know how cable companies would get away with this. And then when you had Comcast, there was like the A and B sides. Do you guys remember that? And then we ended up having like flat screen TVs. TVs went from like being this thick and thicker to being thin. And they used to be so expensive. And now you can get like a 55-inch TV for like $300. Do y'all remember Radio Shack? What is the world coming to? This has become, we are not even on the topic of tonight's stream. I ran walk off the plug. Blue beam, did I say that? Did I? Yeah, that's my eyebrows. AV7 gagged. Yeah, I got gagged. 171. Smoke signals. Yes, girl. Janelle, like, listen. I might send a carrier pigeon to you. I'm going to write a little note. Scribble it down. And then I'm going to tie it around the pigeon with some string. And I'm going to tell it. I'm going to be like, hey, go to Janelle Barry Tucker somewhere in America. Go to her. If I was like a war boss, I would have a hawk. I would send you a hawk. Like, go to Janelle's house. This is what we need to do if we need to communicate. Bye, Eric. Thank you for sponsoring tonight's stream. I'm so sorry. This went off the rails, but I'm just hanging out with everybody now. Like, it's hard for me to focus. The numbers have gone back up. Yes. The smoke signals. High Value Man, are you back? He says hit that like button, folks. Thank you so much. Wow. I mean, yes. Please hit the like button. It seems that YouTube has restabilized. You had to refresh your stream. I don't want to make you do it again, but type in High Value Man. I think I see another one too. High Value Man, are you tied now with Eric? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think you're just about tied with him. I'm going to go ahead and just make you both the stream sponsors. Okay, I think you are. Guys, I can't make this up. I did not plan for the stream to happen this way. But like now we are hanging out and High Value Man. Wow. Thank you. I don't have anything else to say. Like, this is in my opinion, this is like one of the worst streams because of the YouTube glitch. And like, usually guys, I'm very structured. I will like write out what I'm going to talk about, when, who I'm going to bring up, and how. Like, it is very, very structured. You're catching me in rare form because of this. But at the same time, I just want to thank you guys for being graceful and still hanging out and listening during all of this, you know, and high value man, especially. Like, this is incredibly, incredibly generous of you. It really is. It really is. So if y'all haven't typed in high value man yet, do me a favor. If you've been sitting back and you're just watching all this debauchery take place and you haven't typed anything in the chat and you haven't done it yet, type in high value man right now. Do it. 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 Thank you, HVM. Thank you. Seriously, you have no idea. I would love to send you an email if I could after this, just to thank you myself. Mark says I had to refresh. Les says Google is evil. Stu says my subscriptions are back. I think it's time to reevaluate your life. I love it. Papa V says this didn't start until you mentioned your bracelet. Did I? I don't even remember talking about my bracelet, Papa V. Lewis says I just subscribed and had to read you today and I couldn't find you. Isn't that crazy, Lewis? Thank you. Welcome. Since you subscribed today. Randizzle says they wanted you to quit talking about Trump and it worked. I got so scared, Randy. HVM, did you give some more? Spasiba. I mean, spasibo. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. High Value Man just gave you guys more memberships. Like, I think he's in at like 40 right now. He's definitely over like $500 for this stream. And I'm literally now just goofing off. Because I can't focus. I just can't. That glitch threw me off. HVM, thank you. And if you got a membership, thank you right now. Please. You have to. People don't just walk around every day and give you like $100 or give people like a $5 membership or $20 membership or whatever the membership is. They don't just give you that. Look at how incredibly generous he is. And I'm literally goofing off right now because of this glitch. Wow, HVM. You're really a great person. Thank you for doing that. Shout out to Dub Jones who says, thank you, HVM. Put a name on it, people. That's right. Shout out to Lead. They said the Lead Bible. Bottom of the bottle. Great stuff in the chat here. Will says AB said the thing and that they was like, oh no, get her off the top of the list. Oh no. Shout out to the Intentional Quiet Storm, brother. Oh, this is like one of my first mods on this channel. I love him so much. So much so last year, January 2023, Lead and I did for his channel, we did a meetup. And Quiet Storm was one of the most valued people in the community that we bought the meetup to him. And we did it in his hometown of San Diego. And it was amazing. And it was so great meeting him in person. I think about you all the time, brother. I hope you are doing well. But look, he's been a member on my channel for 12 months. I haven't had memberships for that long, guys. It's only been a year. It's only been a year. Atrium, did you do it again? Said TLA's indeed missed, but you're doing just fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He is missed, but thank you for the reassurance that I'm doing okay. That is helpful. That is helpful because I'm like, I didn't know what to do after that glitch. I was like, something is wrong. I'm being attacked. I'm being cyber bullied. What's going on here? Shenanigans. But HVM, I mean, we've given you all the love. I mean, you most likely are the stream sponsor. Like you are. You really are. But I want to give Eric his flowers too. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is super, super sweet of you. DJ Dunbar Grape says, I had a stroke, eye surgery, and I blame Boots. Damn. Well, Boots is cold. We know that Boots is cold. I've done videos on him. The algorithm likes other people's videos. But honestly, like Boots he's a great lawyer. And for those of you that are looking for an update, Boots has represented tons of celebrities here in the Atlanta area, one of which recently is Gunna from the Young Thug trial. Gunna was one of the people in YSL that was super prominent in the space. He was involved and was actually incarcerated at one time. And Boots actually represented Gunna. A lot of people did not know that. They mentioned that Gunna was a snitch or a rat and an informant, provided a lot of information to law enforcement. Boots, I was looking at his Twitter earlier today just for like updates on the Fannie Willis case. He actually put a statement out about Gunna today. Since I'm over here goofing off, I might as well look it up and show it to y'all. Let's go to Steve Sadow. Yes, here we go. 10 hours ago, this is the latest on Gunna. Steve Sadow says, it up, make me small. He says Gunna and his lawyer, Steve Sadow, both released statements refuting speculation that Gunna had snitched to get out of prison. Sadow says, Gunna did not snitch to get out of jail. He has said nothing and is not cooperating. His plea statement cannot be used in court against any other defendant. So please stop spreading lies. Boots is not playing with y'all. Boots is not doing it. And think about it. If you're a celebrity and if you're looking for an attorney and that attorney is also representing a former US president in rappers, I think you're getting the best attorney in Atlanta. And Boots is just recently, I think, celebrated his 70th birthday. So he's still practicing law. That's a pretty great thing. It's a pretty great thing. All right, guys, I'm starting to get tired. And yes, JJ, I'm going to change the buzzer. I need to do a refresh on this whole thing. Here it is. These are the sounds on the soundboard. There are 8 of them. I need to put a poll on my community tab so you guys can tell me what you want. I was talking to Lead about that sound, that beep, 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 beep. Like if y'all want that over here, we'll get that over here. But some people don't like that sound. So it's like, I need to ask you what you want. So JJ, yes, I've been wearing it out. I wore out the buzzer. But we will get other sounds and y'all will pick it. I don't even want to pick it. It's your channel. You're the viewers. You pick it. Whatever debauchery you want to watch through these legal things, whatever sounds you want to hear that are pleasing to the ears, you can pick them. You can pick them. Am I a war boss? Is that what I said? Shout out to Circuit City. No. Says right back at ya. Love you, No. Hope you're doing good. I'm so happy you came and watched this during my little glitch session. Shout out to Kat in the building as well. So many of you guys are in the building. Okay, guys, I'm going to go and start to wrap it up. I think I've caught just about everything. Will has a question, and he says, Avi, do you know anything about the Fannie wiretapping thing? Is that real? Yes. Editor right now is working on a day one Trump thing for you guys, but next on our list is the wiretapping thing. And coming back to Jim Jordan, I've noticed that for some reason, algorithm is pushing that up for you guys to look at. With the Jim Jordan thing, I covered it because he sent her a letter. She sent a letter back. It was very defiant. And then we looked at the DOJ investigation last week. There's more coming out on the Fannie thing on the DOJ side with the whistleblower. I do need to catch up on that one for you guys, and it will contain some information on the wiretapping thing. The wiretapping thing is from Maryland. I think I covered it I might have covered it like 2 streams ago, but it's raised by one of the defendants in the case here in Atlanta in Fulton County. And he had mentioned that his rights were violated. Not this Monday, last Monday. He had given her Monday at noon of a deadline to recuse herself because at one point she had had a recorded conversation with an attorney in Maryland. In Georgia, it is okay for you to record conversations as long as the other party is notified and gives you permission to do it. Like, you need to have consent. Sometimes you don't need to have consent in certain states. Maryland is one of those states, right? So there's the consent issue. There was a recorded phone call without somebody's consent. All right. So that's what the whole wiretapping thing is about. And that's coming from Harrison Floyd, one of the defendants in the Trump case. So that's what that's all about. We're going to get back on the whole congressional issue with Fannie. That's starting to get real. It is getting buried in the news by all the other things that are happening. You have this Trump trial. It's kind of eclipsing everything. You also have the impending doom of a potential World War III right now. There's just so much in the news sometimes, guys, that a lot of this stuff gets buried and we don't realize it when it happens. Shout out to young Black economists that's like, free Thugger. I noticed that when I moved down to Atlanta, like, people would walk around with hoodies and shirts and bags that said free Young Thug. So that was pretty big. You're watching on your phone. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't skip anyone else. Yep, we got Boots, we got No, we got Free Thug. I think I'm caught up, guys. Did I say Harrison Ford? I'm tired, Stu. What time is it in the UK? What is it? 6 hours ahead. Is it 4 a.m. where you are, Stu? Stu, you're up later than I am. Listen, I love you guys so much. This stream went off the absolute rails. I did not plan it. I don't know why YouTube did this. I want to give a ginormous shout out to 2 people in particular. Thank you all for supporting this stream. Eric, very sweet of you. If you watch this on replay, I know you left a little bit early, but Eric, thank you. You know, I had not seen your name in my community before, and for you to pop up and be that generous while we were deep in the content, that was huge. But at the same time, I also want to thank High Value Man. I don't have words anymore. I don't. Your generosity is unfathomed. Like, if you could find a way to send your email to me, I'd love to thank you personally. You guys are amazing. I need to get my eyebrows done. If not, like, I'm in rare form right now. But the fact that you guys are here and supporting would be fantastic. So I'm going to go to bed. I hope you guys go to bed too. Do me a favor before we end. Type in HVM in the chat. And Eric, A-R-I-C. I've never seen it spelt that way. But shout out to Eric as well for being a huge supporter of the stream. If you guys can shout the 2 of these guys out, they have supported our debauchery. But what I love is it gave me an opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit more deeply in the chat, answer your questions, go from there. These 2 gentlemen sponsored the stream, and YouTube, fix whatever's going on. None of us got time, YouTube. None of us got time for this. I hope you guys all have a good night. It was great hanging out with you tonight. See you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Bye.